Let's all go to the movies. Let's all go to the movies. Let's all go to the movies and have ourselves some fun. Let's go.
Good morning and happy weekend movie. Happy long weekend movie, Mom.
Happy long weekend. Happy beginning of the official summer blockbuster season. Oh, I'm excited. Okay, so we got two big movies opening up this weekend. Let's start with Alice Through the Looking Glass. Now, this movie is a sequel to Alice in Wonderland from Tim Burton. This time he is producing but not directing. The most important thing for me to tell you about this movie is that it is insanely rated PG. It is not a PG movie. It's PG-13. Do not take 6- and 7-year-olds to this. It's much too disturbing. Having taken much of the best material from the book Through the Looking Glass and put it in the last Alice in Wonderland movie for some bizarre reason, like the Jabberwocky, Tweedledee, and Tweedledums, all of that. They basically had to write a completely new story for this, which has nothing to do with the book. I mean, nothing.
When the day becomes the night, and the sky becomes the sea, when the clock strikes heavy, and there's no time for tea, and in our darkest hour, before my final rhyme, she will come back home to Wonderland and turn back the hands of time.
And when you put Sacha Baron Cohen playing the embodiment of time and Johnny Depp as the Mad Hatter in the same scene, you are asking for trouble. They try to out-grotesque each other. To say the movie was disappointing to me, beautiful to look at. The story was definitely nothing to do with the Alice that we know and not up to snuff. Okay, now let's talk about X-Men Apocalypse. It is good. It's not as good as the last X-Men movie, which I think is still probably the best one, Days of Future Past. It has some great stuff in it. Now, this is the part that sort of breaks my heart because I really honestly believe when I tell you that second only to Oscar Isaac's mother is me as a fan of Oscar Isaac. I love Oscar Isaac. He is one of my absolute favorites. Why would you take Oscar Isaac, one of the greatest actors alive and one of the most gorgeous men alive, and cover up his eyes, disguise his voice with double tracking, and put him in a costume so big he can hardly stand up? I mean, what is the point? You could have put me in that costume and nobody would have known the difference. I always tell you that superhero movies are good or bad based on the bad guy. He plays the bad guy in this Apocalypse. He was an ancient Egyptian mutant. We never really understand, he wants to destroy the whole universe, blah, 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 but, we never really sort of get what his powers are and how they work, so we don't really know what the threat is at any given confrontation. So that's the part that's not so good. The part that is good is the highlight of the last movie was unquestionably the character Quicksilver, and the scene that he had in the Pentagon was unbelievable, off the hook. They sort of replicate that here. They go a little darker with it. Really fascinating. Fun to have characters we know. We now get to see them as teenagers, and so they're new actors. So liked it, didn't love it. If you want to see just one superhero movie this month, I would go with Captain America Civil War. Always happy when we have like a geek fest here. On DVD and Blu-ray, we've got nice one, The Finest Hours, based on the real life, the greatest rescue in Coast Guard history back in 1952. Big storm off the coast of Massachusetts. Chris Pine and Casey Affleck are really good. Next week, we're going to have Andy Samberg in what looks like a very silly movie called Pop Star, Never Stop, Never Stopping. And we got the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Yay!
All right, movie mom. I hope you have a great weekend. Enjoy some barbecuing.
I'm actually going to Graceland this weekend. I'm so excited. So if you're on my Facebook or my Twitter, you'll be seeing some pictures of Elvis Town.
All right, well, enjoy yourself. You can catch this interview up at WJBQ.com, where we always have a link to MovieMom.com. Have a great long weekend, and we'll catch up with you next week.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Let's all